Police are yet to make any arrests following a shooting at a tuckshop in Mariannhill over the weekend. KwaZulu-Natal, that's where Mariannhill is, and that incident left 7 people dead. It's understood unknown gunmen opened fire on that group on Saturday, with the motive for the incident still unclear. So let's get you an update. We're joined by the police spokesperson in the province, Brigadier Jay Naicker. Brigadier, it's great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed for agreeing to join us. And I suppose it's difficult to ask you about progress in a case like this, in a context where you don't want to reveal much about your investigations as police. But what can you tell us?
Absolutely, Michelle. Yes, we are concerned, but I must say that we are getting cooperation from the community. Information is forthcoming. They are talking to us. It is a bit disturbing that they would gun down so many people in one incident. However, information coming forward that is that one person was possibly the target and the others were just collateral damage and they were caught up in the shooting.
The incident that we're talking about, which was the tuck shop shooting, is one of 2 shooting incidents that happened in Mariannhill. 12 people altogether shot dead in those 2 incidents. What can you tell us about the second incident?
Absolutely. So whilst police were still attending to the first incident, which is within the same police precinct, but they're quite far from each other. The first one took place in Savannah Park, and the second incident took place in Dussenhoek. So that's when police received a report of another shooting incident in Dussenhoek. And when they got there, they found 5 people were killed. They aged between 25 and 47. 2 were women, and 3 were women, and 2 of them were men. So they were at a house socializing. Initially, there was a group of 6 of them at that house. When a lone gunman entered the house and held them up, he demanded their cell phones, cash, and he wanted a flat screen TV that was in that house. And the woman in the house noticed that he was alone, and they decided to attack him. They managed to overpower him and disarmed him of his firearm. But unfortunately, they didn't report it, so the suspect then ran away. But he came back an hour later with 2 of his friends, and they were also armed. And they demanded the return of that firearm, and they managed to take the firearm away, and they shot the 5 occupants in the house. They then stole their belongings, which included cell phones and cash, and they removed the TV and fled the scene. Sure.
That's so incredibly shocking. Brigadier Naicker, what can you tell us about Mariannhill insofar as violent crime is concerned and shootings of this nature?
Yeah, it's very unusual. Mariannhill is one of our high crime stations that is receiving attention from the District Commissioner's Office as well as the Provincial Commissioner's Office. But I think it's very disturbing to have 2 of these incidents occur within a few hours apart within that same policing precinct. But we did meet the MEC Community Safety as well as the Provincial Commissioner did meet with the community as well as the Community Policing Forum to reactivate the Community Policing Forum to be more active in that area, to get more community involvement, because obviously there is a problem there when it comes to violent crimes. Yeah.
And guns, I suppose, as well. What were the guns that were used in both of these attacks?
Absolutely, in both incidents, it seemed like it was handguns that were used, but it is a problem, and I think the Provincial Commissioner, even in his address yesterday, expressed his concern regarding the regulations around legal firearms, right. Because we have the opinion that a lot of legal firearms are used in these incidents, and these are firearms that are in the hands of ordinary individuals, security companies, as well as security forces.
And are you saying it's a case of firearms being stolen, them not being reported? Is that what you're alluding to?
There is a bit of laxity in terms of the safekeeping of firearms. So we find a lot of legal firearms get stolen very easily. Whilst people even apply for these firearms for self-protection, when they are actually robbed, they don't use their firearms, so they're robbed of their firearms. So those firearms end up in the hands of criminals. We've noticing also that criminals are now specifically targeting even security officials for their firearms. We know in the past they've been targeting police officers also for their firearms. but also, even just the handling information is that, some of these people with licensed firearms are actually lending these firearms out to criminals to use to commit crimes.
Sure. That's shocking detail, if indeed it is true. I mean, Brigadier Naicker, in terms of the community there coming forward with information, you have said that they've been very cooperative with police, but is there part of the concern perhaps with the community that there might be retaliation if they are seen to be cooperating with the police, or is that not the case?
No, it wasn't the case yesterday. They were very cooperative, and they want to see the killers in both instances brought to book. So they were cooperating with investigators. From our meeting yesterday, we got a sense that they really want to unmask these killers and bring them to book. Yeah.
Brigadier Jay Naicker, KZN Police spokesperson, let me thank you for your time this morning. Those two separate shooting incidents in Mariannhill over the weekend in KwaZulu-Natal. Shocking detail coming out there. 12 people in all shot dead.